This video was brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that has classes on almost every single topic or area you may be interested in. But to be more specific, for the purposes of our video and the tutorials we create, I would highly recommend this Adobe XD for mobile application UI and UX design on Skillshare. I am using Skillshare a lot during these days since we all have a lot of time home. Nothing better to improve yourself during this time. And the good news doesn't have to stop there, because you guys can sign up to Skillshare using the link in the description and gain 2 months for free for the first 1,000 students to sign up using the link. Waste no more time, use the link in the description and help me supporting the channel. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the course. On this particular video, we are going to start building this popular products section. So the very first thing we will want to do here is to add image asset, and it's going to be from images. Then we need this file food. Here we have it, right? Now what we need to do is we want to provide some round corners, and we are going to use the clip rect widget. And one of the parameters is going to be the border radius. And doing so, you can see that our borders are circular now. Now we will want to add some padding to this. I don't know why that wasn't working, but okay. Okay, this is our very first step, and the other thing that we are going to do is wrapping this inside of a stack. You can come over here and do this. So now we can place some new widgets on top of the image, and that will help us providing some very good look to this. So let's start working with that. The very first thing we are going to add here is a row. Right, and inside of this row, let's provide a main axis alignment. Space between. This will make sure that the elements inside of the row are spaced to the edges. Now this is going to be a button, but for now we can just use an icon. Okay, it's still kind of out of place, but that's something we can fix. We are going to add some padding to this, and probably we may need to change the color to red. And then add some padding in here as well. With that out of the way, let us continue editing. We'll create container widget. We'll decorate this container. The background color of the container is going to be white. And a width of 50. Let's provide a small border radius as well. Okay, let us welcome back to the course. Well, unfortunately we have one video missing, and that's concerned with this section here. Since I cannot do this again from scratch, what I will do is I will walk you guys through what I did to end up with this widget like this here. So if we go to our home screen, and unfortunately there was a lot of code as well, but anyways, it starts from here, and the topmost widget is a stack because we want to put these multiple widgets one on top of the other. Then we have a container. We are providing a border radius for this container, but the fun thing is that this doesn't really change much because inside of that we have a clip rect widget. So if I remove that and I do a control save, we're still fine. So here we gave a border radius of 20. That's why we have these edges or these corners like this, round corners. And then on top of that we have a row, which will be this icon here, the heart icon and the rating icon. So we place those inside of a row. And for the heart, I created a different widget and I call it small button. And here are the specifications. Is basically an icon
with padding and a container around it. Then for the padding, we have here container, which is white, which is this white rectangle here, and then we have a border of 5 and a row inside of that having a star and the rating. Here we'll have the star and the 4.5. That's inside of a row. So then we have a position field. Position field widget will occupy all of the space inside of the stack. We use it so that it will be easier for us to place widgets on a particular position inside of that stack, and we wanted to provide this black fading effect here, and that's why we have a line to bottom center. Then we have a container, we gave a height of 100, then decoration again. And for us to be able to get this, that's why we use our gradient, linear gradient here. And we have the beginning. This is going to go from bottom to top, so it's fading upwards. Then we have a color, and for the colors it's the same thing. We have different shades of black, or basically we have black with different opacities. That's why we are having this fading effect here. And finally, for the text here, I have a position as well widget, and we place this at bottom center as well. Then we used a row, and inside of a row I used two different widgets. One is a rich text, which allows us to have this pancake by Pizza Hut text here. It's inside of a rich text widget. So we just provide the text span, and children. I like working with rich text widgets because they're very practical when it comes to editing multiple lines of text. And then for the other side, I have a rich text as well, just placing the price over there. And I know this was kind of a lot to take in because there was in fact a lot of coding going on, but yeah, that was it. Make sure you go through this again and again until you really understand what's going on. And to make your life easier, I'll comment here. Starts here and ends here. So if you want to go through the code and review it, you will be able to do that there. So this is what we're trying to get, and we are almost done with our main screen. We did a couple modifications here and there, but it's fine. Let us try to add a wrap widget, then size box of height 5, and finally let's use custom text. And for the text, we are going to place here this text home. Okay, not exactly what we wanted. So inside of a wrap, I'm going to use a column here, which obviously is going to give us that problem. But if we restrict the height of our container, we are probably going to be fine. Okay, we have this, but now this seems way too big. Or what about I reduce the size of what about it I reduce the size of our icons here, and even reducing this we still have a lot of space here and there. Let's go back to the image we're trying to replicate. Okay, and we have this. Now we are going to replace all of the other icons, custom icons, with this. So here, instead of home, I'm going to have target, and the text is going to say nearby. Same thing for the cart. What our image says, cart. Shopping bag, and here cart. And the final thing we need here is account. Okay. So that's that. We have our replica here. For whatever reason, I still feel like these icons are too big. But again, you see how we did this. But we can improve this, creating one widget and then just replicating or calling that widget over and over again, avoiding all of this code repetition in here. And it would be easier if you wanted to modify that widget. So I will leave that as a challenge for you guys, for you to go and create a separate widget for these icons here, the way we did before. And on our next video, I'll show you how can you go about doing that.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the course. Well, this video is going to be super quick, I hope. Just joking, it's going to be quick. And the goal here is basically, let me open visor. Then I have visor here, and I will basically start recording my device. Okay, so the goal here is to separate this section, this navigation buttons here, into a separate widget, right? That's not hard to do, and I'll show you guys how can you do that. The very first thing you are going to do is basically selecting this one of these widgets. I will select this padding, and if I open up our app, you'll see that now we have one missing here. Then you'll go to the widgets and create a new Dart file, and we'll call this sorry, you call this file button navigation icons or widgets. We will import Flutter material.dart. Done. We'll create our stateless class here. Bottom nav icon. This is how we'll call this. So that you guys can see it with no problem. Sorry, I may need to go back to home, copy one of the icons here on the bottom navigation row, we will copy this, we will come back to our widget here, paste it. Okay. Of course, we will need to import the custom text widget, and we have something like this. Now, our bottom navigation icon will take at the moment 2 parameters. Final string, the first one is going to be called image, which is basically the image path. And we'll call the second one name, representing the name of that particular icon. Now we'll click here, create our constructor. Then what are we going to do after that is basically copying this, and from now on we'll call the variable image here, and finally for the text we are going to call name. Perfect. With this done, we can go back to our home page. Oops. We can go back to our home page. Let me do a hard reload and show you guys how it looks like. For now, it looks like this. And we will put here bottom we'll use bottom navigation icon. Let me zoom a bit. Okay, and for the image parameter, we are going to provide the image name, and for the name parameter, we are going to provide card as the name. If we do control save this, we are going to have this. So what we need to do now is basically repeating this a couple times. So instead of rewriting this code, we'll just call the widget. For example, for home, you'll copy the image name which is home.png, and here you are going to replace this image with the new image name, and for the name parameter here you'll put home. You do a control save, and ta-da, you have it, home. And now you can do that. You just have to do this for the remaining ones. Let's do for one more. And you'll do this for avatar. And you'll write account here. And finally we can get rid of this. If we do a control save, we'll be able to see that here we have, it's kind of off order. We would typically have this here. And maybe what we can do here is, instead of space between, you can use space evenly. You do a basic control save, and here you have it. Perfect. So I just showed you guys how can you go about copying, or how can you go about creating your own widgets for this section here, for this down section. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll have the link for the source code on our next video.